Around about now, the guys will probably be, one of the guys will be climbing on the outside of the plane, probably be the Jump Master Sergeant Billy Blanchard. As you can see now, if you look up, you can see the guy out the door. And you can now see the smoke there. Don't worry, it's not the aircraft on fire, it's ultra-star display smoke. Any minute now, the guy should be dropping out. And there you go, that's the first guy off there. Actually, no, it's more than one. As you can see, they're in a donut formation there in free fall, deploying their canopies, moving away. The guys are free falling 120 miles an hour. We call this terminal velocity. So that's all the guys deployed their canopies now. Obviously the guys have a landing pan which they do, which is, I believe, the same as an aircraft. They'll be landing into wind, so they get a better flare on their parachute to slow them down. So the first guy down today will be Sergeant Billy Blanchard. He's the jump master of the stage jump. He's from the 3rd Battalion Parachute Regiment. And if you look up there, you'll see the Union Jack flag and the Parachute Regiment flag. We are very proud and honoured to be flying these. We use these in all displays in the UK and all over the world. So that's Sergeant Billy Blanchard coming down now. I'd like to give a nice round of applause and a big cheer. On the cross. Sergeant Billy Blanchard, everyone. So the guys with the flags, Corporal Dad Smith from 2nd Battalion Parachute Regiment. He's coming in on his landing pad now. You're turning in soon. Obviously you can imagine with a flag underneath you, it's a bit harder to fly their canopy. Corporal Dad Smith, everyone. Next guy down. With Lance Corporal John Woods. He's flying a Parachute Regiment flag. Turns now in on his final. Coming down. Nice round of applause, Lance Corporal John Woods, everyone. So if you look up now, up to your left, you'll see the guys, they're in a try-by-side formation. This is the most dangerous part of any display, as it is a controlled collision into each other's canopies. And you can imagine that high up in the sky, crashing your canopy into each other can be quite dangerous. But the guys are highly experienced in what they do. I'm sure they'll be safe. So now they're going to start their descent on their downplane, coming straight down to earth. And soon they'll split apart, coming in for their landing. That's them split now. So ladies and gentlemen, when they come down, I'd like to give you a nice round of applause and a big clap. Lance Corporal Dan Kelly, everyone.
Use a camera. Can't think and talk at the same time.
Can you imagine the adrenaline of the guys still going from the parachute descent? So that'll be the guys now coming forward for the lineup to meet the VIPs. VIPs, I believe, is Air Marshal Philip Sturley, Air Vice Marshal Nigel Burston, and Lord Lieutenant after blades 1, 2 and 3. So listen out for the engines. Mo will turn the throttle up, they'll be holding on the brakes, and then they'll be airborne in the next 30 seconds or so. In fact, they're doing it individually. So this is blade 1 going first, followed by blade 2, but then there'll be 3, and obviously there'll then be 4. Perfect, so that's the blades all safely airborne. Now in case you haven't heard of the blades before, we are the only full-time civilian display team in the United Kingdom, and as Terence is already saying, all the pilots are former Red Arrows, and between them they've got well over 20,000 hours of flying experience. Are in the middle, and blades 2 and 3 are on the outside. Now straight into card formation. Now the banter when the pilots were the Red Arrows was the art of precision. The blades would like to create a little bit of order out of chaos. So our first manoeuvre of chaos this afternoon, Shoreham, from the card formation, this is the very pretty blade fountain. Now the 4 pilots are going to fly directly to the airfield here at Shoreham. Now this manoeuvre will set the tempo for the next 15 minutes. This is our signature manoeuvre, 10G in the cockpits. Shoreham, this is the blade break. Now that is just the warm-up. It will get even more exciting and even more dynamic than that. Now on the left-hand side are blades 1 and 2. On the right-hand side over the church are blades 3 and 4. Now they're going to formate on one another and then fly down the display line and actually fly directly towards each other. Now the leading aircraft will perform what's called an aileron roll, whilst the trailing aircraft will perform what's called a barrel roll, both very, very popular flying manoeuvres. So from the left and the right, blades 1 and 2, 3 and 4, for the blades double cross. Now what you want to watch the outside 2 aircraft, they're going to snap run away. Now watch the middle 2 aircraft, they're actually going to fly upwards and then actually fly backwards through their own smoke. Now I want you all to watch the blade on the left hand side. This is blade 4, our solo display pilot. 4 aircraft at 0 miles an hour. Again, it's a bit of a signature manoeuvre, and you see it in a lot of the magazines and at the air shows. Blades 1 and 4 pulling up into the vertical, they're going to stall towards each other, formating at 0 miles an hour. This is the blade hammerhead.
It's lovely. Why not? Oh my god, they're mad.
Now the blades are getting 2 line of stern formation here. That's 1, 2, 3 and 4 in a long line. The next one is very, very important. It's a testament to our RAF heritage and also a testament to those brave few that fought in the Great Battle of Britain. It speaks for itself. It's a beautiful manoeuvre. Blades, this is the Spitfire roll. In blade 3 position today we've got Andy Evans. This is again a Red Arrow pilot, former Red Arrow pilot, and also Red 10, so he spent a year basically doing the team manager job and doing the commentary. He was a Jaguar pilot in the Air Force like Chris. And the blade 4 position there, we've also got another Jaguar pilot, Mark Cutmore, again 3 years in the Red Arrows, and he actually spent 3 years in Saudi Arabia as the advisor to the Saudi Arabian national display team as well. So well over 20,000 hours of flying experience to the 4 blades pilots up there. Now Shoreham, I really like this one. I think you all will too. Give them a cheer, everybody. Blade 4, upside down. Everyone else a boot for the rudder. This is called Crazy. Give them a wave and a cheer. You can only imagine what it feels like to fly in formation like that, upside down, hickledy-pickledy, but still going down the runway in the same direction. Now here's a very important thing I mentioned earlier, the blades, only aerobatic airline in the world. We can fly passengers in the front seat, and this year with the RF Association Wing Skill, we're running our Sponsored Challenge campaign. Now if you fancy doing something for charity, and you do it for the RF Association Wing Skill, you could take your front seat ride with the blades. Now if you fancy doing a run, or a walk, a car boot sale, whatever it is, you raise money for Rafa, you fly with the blades.
There's lots of brand new merchandise there this year as well, so if you fancy a new Blade merchandise and a souvenir from the Airshow, then do pop along there. There are lots of new wallets, there are key rings, there's signed posters and prints, and again the team, Tasha, Ben, Rachel and Anne there will be there to meet you, say hello, and I'll be there after this show along. So do pop along and say hello to us there on the Blade shop stand. Now we're going to move into the second half of our display, spice it up a little bit, do a little bit of pair work. But first of all, watch out as Miles splits his team. Shoreham, this is the fan break. Now I want you all to watch the outside two aircraft. They're going to pull up with some synchronised spinning. And I want you now to look high to the sky and watch out for blades 1 and 4. Then they're going to pull up into the vertical, and this manoeuvre is very, very important. It's dedicated to our sponsors, the Wings Appeal. Blades 1 and 4 stalling towards each other. This manoeuvre is simply called the Wings. And you can just about make some white smoke there with the difficult white background of the cloud. Anyway, blades 1 and 4 flying towards us. This is our...
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Bernie, and I'm the commentator on this next act, which, if you look to the right, you'll see a pretty yellow and black aircraft, which has got a very interesting character in it, i.e. Captain Boogaloo, who is the world's oldest flying pilot at a mere 101 years old. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 101 years old. Born in the 1st of April 1910 in the village of Old Sodbury near Gloucestershire, which isn't too far from here. Born to the father Brian and fishwife mother Ethel. He's actually taking over from Brendan because Brendan was due to fly today, but he's got a facial book.